All right, Math 1, I'm not going to do all of them, but I'm going to help you out with some of them, okay? The table below shows the cost of pizza based on the number of toppings. This is the number of toppings. This is my independent. This is my dependent. This is my X, this is my Y. The total cost is dependent on the topic. So this is like your X and this is your Y, the total. Which function represents the cost of pizza with n toppings? So what you've got to figure out is what your slope is, how much it's going up by, okay, and then what's your starting amount for a cheese pizza, and work backwards to figure that out. So one of these should be the answer. If the salesperson earns a weekly base salary, okay, plus a 20%, um, plus a commission of 20% of all sales over the first $500. This situation can be represented. They give you an expression, okay? You got 750 plus the 20%, and this is the amount you make minus the 500, because remember, it's only 20% of the first 500. That's it, okay? All right, which of the following describes the meaning of, and I just basically just told you, it's either total amount of sales, okay, the total amount of salary earned, the total amount of commission earned, okay, or the total amount of sales after the first 500. Okay, so which one of those is going to be the best answer? Which sequence is generated by this rule? 3n minus 1. Okay, so you should be able to substitute the first number and get, if you substitute 1, you should get either 3, 4, 4, or 2. Substitute 2, you should be able to get the second number. Substitute 3, you should be able to get one of these third numbers. So substitute the first one, 1, that's 3 times 1 minus 1. This is 3 minus 1, which gives you 2. 3n minus 1, substitute 2. Okay, so this is 6 minus 1, which gives you 5. All right, so we already know what our answer is there. Which statement is true about this right here? 4 times 10 minus the 8x. All right, as the value of x increases by 1, the value of the expression d. Okay, so look, simplify and see what you get. You get 4. This is a linear equation, okay? But let's simplify it. So this gives you 40 minus the 32x, okay? So this is my slope. It's decreasing, okay? It's decreasing by this. So you have to choose the best answer, okay? All right, because that's my slope. It says, John and Brian work for a toy manufacturer putting stuffing in teddy bears. On an average, John can stuff X teddy bears in one day, and Brian can stuff Y teddy bears in one day. They both work the same number of days. What does the expression X plus Y times T? All right, so look at this. This is X is the average that John stuffs, and Y is the average that Brian stuffs. So they add them together and then multiplying it times the number of days. So what does that represent? The number of teddy bears John can stuff in T days, the number of teddy bears Brian can stuff in T days, the number of teddy bears John and Brian can stuff in T days, or the number of teddy bears John and Brian can stuff in one day. Okay? So choose the best answer there. The table below shows the height of the pyramid shaped candle as it burns. Okay, 0 minutes. So the starting height is 6. All right, and so every 2 minutes it's going down by a certain amount. What would the average rate of change of the candle be at a time? It's at 45 minutes. Okay, so you have to figure out what it would be in 45 minutes, and here's 45 minutes there. All right. So what is the average rate of change? So you can use the slope formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And it started off with 0 and 6. And at 45, it was at 2. So find the rate of change there. All right. What would it be at 45 minutes? Not per minute, but just at 45. So don't reduce it. It says that, let's see, the graph shows the distance drove during the 2-minute drive to work one morning. Okay, so what is average speed in miles from 2 minutes to 6? So you're going to write your ordered pairs from 2 minutes to 6 minutes. So at 2 minutes, it was this, it was 1. And at 6 minutes, it was at 5. So now you use the slope formula to figure out what was the average speed from that time to that time. Okay? All right, so it says the graph below shows the distance versus the time. So this is time and this is distance. What's the average speed between 2? So you're doing the same thing again, from 2 to 4. This is x. These are your x's. Now you need to, what is your y's? And you're going to find the slope using the slope formula. The rate of change formula, slope formula is the same thing. All right, so find the distance in 2 minutes from the graph, and then from 4 minutes in the graph, and then use the rate of change. All right, what is the average rate of change of this function? Okay, so they give you the x values. When they say they give you the intervals, they're talking about your domain. So you have two, you got the x values, 1 and 2. So now you need to find the y values now. Okay, so substitute 1 in here. It's 2x squared plus 4. So plug in 1, 2 times 1 squared plus 4 to figure out this y value. And then do it again to figure out the second y value. Okay, and then use the slope formula, y2 minus y1, to figure out what's the average rate of change. So substitute 1 first, and then substitute 2. Whatever you get here goes here, and whatever you get for the second one goes here, and then use the slope formula. The charges of renting the car from a certain rental company are given by the expression. They gave you this as expression, where X is the number of times, is the number of miles driven, and D is the number of days. So now you've rented for the car rented. Which statement about renting a car from the company is true? So you have to read to see which one of these is the truth. Okay, I really think the rest of these is okay. I really think you should be fine answering these. Okay. If you have questions, just ask me before class gets started. All right. Have a good one.